Hello guys, and welcome to Spa for what is looking to be a very wet qualifying session in this F1 2014 100% race. We are riding on board today with Fernando Alonso. We did Kimi Räikkönen there on Monza. Now we're going to be doing Alonso here on Spa. And like I said, it looks to be a really wet one here. 100% chance of rain during qualifying. I'm not really sure where that is going to take us. We're just going to go out and see if we can't do a decent lap here and hopefully squeeze us into Q2 somehow. We can't really afford to run a wet setup either, as it is going to be completely dry on race day, meaning we are going to get caned on the long straights if we run too much wing. So we are running a 2-2 wing and a general dry setup here and just hoping for the best. And as you can see here, there is absolutely no traction or grip here coming through the chicane. This is going to be our first lap here, 2:05.159. Definitely not something to be proud of, but I don't think there is much chance of us actually improving on it, so we just skip on ahead and see if we are lucky enough to make it into Q2, and we are. But as you can see there, Räikkönen, Bottas, and Magnussen and Felipe Massa do not make it into Q2. Skipping right ahead here, this is Q2, our first lap. As you can see, the track conditions have improved somewhat, and we are out on the intermediate tire right now, and this is definitely a much more enjoyable lap right here, 1:56.539. We do try for another one here, but run wide in a corner, so no chance of us improving there. This is going to be our Q3 lap. As you can see, the track conditions are actually getting worse again here, as there's a lot of standing water on the track right now, even though we are on the intermediate tires. So our lap time is most likely going to be down from our Q2 time, but then again, so is everybody else, and we have just jumped out of the gate here, hoping to get a quick lap in before the track conditions get even worse, and it appears to have worked for us as we grab pole in front of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. And as we get ready on the grid here in beautiful sunny conditions, we are hoping for a good start. We are ahead of the two Mercs of Hamilton and Rosberg, and they are going to be roaring out of the gate most likely here. We get a great start here, and as you can see, just managed to close the door on Hamilton, coming into the first turn, getting a great line and a great exit, and are already seemingly what seems to be miles ahead of everyone else. But I don't know if you could see for a brief glimpse there, but it seemed that there were three cars running neck and neck out of the first turn. The two Mercs and a Red Bull, I believe it was Ricciardo, and most likely, and by the looks of it, there must have been some sort of bunch up in the first turn there, if you look at the mini track, because everybody's really far behind right now. We are looking to make the most of that and hopefully build a gap big enough to keep our competitors out of DRS range here as soon as it opens on lap 3. And for those of you who watched the last Cockpit Cam race I did there, which was on Monza, and I have experimented just a little bit with my sitting position here, as we are looking a little bit more over the wheel in this particular race than we did on Monza, although I'm not really feeling any significant difference here, but maybe I'll feel the difference in my neck after about an hour and a half in this position. Anyway, so far Hamilton is down by almost 3 seconds on us right now. Rosberg is immediately behind him, so no surprise there. The two Mercs are in hot pursuit, but at the moment we seem to have gotten a much better start than we probably could have hoped for. Jumping ahead to lap 3 here, Hamilton is starting to put in some really nasty laps at the moment here, and I am not really sure what we are going to be doing about this guy, because I thought we did some pretty solid opening laps there, but apparently no match for Hamilton, as he is starting to put us under pressure now. And it would appear that Hamilton, at the very least, is running pretty much a no-wing setup here. We are running 2-2 in wings, and it appears that Hamilton is actually out-racing us on the long straights there. On the twisty, windy parts of the circuit, we have a chance to open up a little more of a gap to him if we just get the corners absolutely right with the absolute right speed, then we are able to pull away from him just a little bit. But as soon as we get out on the straights again, he is closing the gap just like that. And at this point, we are just trying to make the car as wide as we possibly can. Hamilton has a look down the inside there, but he has to back out of it as we have the better line. And we seem to live to fight another day right here. We almost run wide though, but Hamilton thankfully is unable to take advantage. Almost losing the back end coming out of the U-turn there, and that is the problem that we face, because this is the part of the track where we have a chance to pull away a couple of tenths. Jumping ahead to lap 8 here, it appears that Ricciardo has passed Rosberg behind Hamilton and is sort of joining the party here as he is starting to put Hamilton under pressure. And as you can see, we have a slight gap down to Hamilton here. I don't think he's going to be within DRS range coming out on the long straight there if we manage to take these corners absolutely right and not give him the chance to close the gap. And as a matter of fact there, if you can see in the mirrors, we have 2 Red Bulls immediately behind Hamilton, meaning Vettel is in 4th and Rosberg has apparently dropped to 5th. Though it appears that our hope of Hamilton not having DRS on this straight are going to be shattered, because he is right on our exhaust at the moment here, and the only chance we are going to have is just crank that thing into rich mode, and hopefully we have enough of a head start here to keep him behind us. He has the speed, he has the toe, but he does not have the length of the straight to actually make this move count. But it does seem that we are living on borrowed time right now, and I'm starting to feel a little bit annoyed with my setup here. I should probably have gone with even less wing than this. And jumping ahead to lap 12 here, we are making our first pit stop 1 lap before we are actually intended to go into the pits. And we are simply doing this as an attempt to undercut Hamilton and hopefully get out in front of him again when he has made his first pit stop, which will happen within the next couple of laps. We are changing to a set of primes. We are going to be doing our middle stint on those, and we are going to be finishing with our final stint on a set of options. As we rejoin in 5th position here, as you can see, there are cars in the pits at the moment. I'm not sure who they are at this point, but it appears that we make the jump to P3 as Rosberg is ahead of us here and Hamilton is right behind us. So apparently the undercut there seemed to work, as Hamilton was not able to rejoin the track in front of us. But I have a feeling that we are going to be put under some immense pressure from him rather quickly. And screaming down the back straight here, we have Hamilton immediately in our rearview mirrors there. We almost run off track trying to pass a back marker, and Hamilton bumps into us not once but twice, and in the second crash loses his front wing. No damage for us though, pretty lucky there, but Hamilton has lost his front wing and he has not gone into pit on this lap, which is crucial because he's going to do a full lap with a broken front wing, and that is going to cost him. And just coming through turn 1, as you can see there, Ricciardo is rejoining the track immediately ahead of us there. So in terms of Ricciardo, the undercut did not work as well as we had hoped, but coming out on the Camel straight here, we have the speed, and hopefully we are going to be able to get a bit of a toe there. And as you can see on the speed gauge there, we definitely have a toe. Hopefully we can make this move count coming down the inside, but we are way too close to the chicane, actually almost losing their car. Somehow managed to get back on track, and with a very, very hazardous overtake, are back into P1. That only lasts for about a lap here. We run wide in the sweeping left-hander here. Ricciardo takes full advantage of that, and we are into P2 right now. And also just getting caught in a bit of dirty air here, giving us a lot of understeer, and Ricciardo seems to be pulling away at the moment, but we still have the chance of catching him here on the back straight. So we are going to be cranking this thing into rich mode, and the hunt for Ricciardo is on. And just getting this huge burst of speed as we are closing the gap here. There is room on the outside of Ricciardo there. We try to go outside of him, but Ricciardo just sticks to the inside racing line there. It sounded like there was contact between us, but I did not feel a jolt in the steering wheel, so I'm not really sure what happened there. I thought I had thought I had that move made, but not so. Ricciardo is still in P1. And apparently, as our engineer is informing us here, that Ricciardo now has a drive-through penalty, so there must have been some sort of contact there, but I gotta say, I think that's rather harsh. So anyway, at the moment we are in P2. We have Rosberg about 7 seconds behind us here. And as we are coming out here on the Kemmel Straight one more time, we have this huge toe yet again, and we have DRS this time. So we're gonna make the move again down the inside here. This time we have the time to make it work, and we are into P1 yet again. And also Ricciardo is gonna have to make that drive-through penalty here within the next 3 laps. We are passing Bianchi here. He just parks it on the apex, as the AI seemingly always does here, but we get it done without too much trouble. Skipping right ahead to lap 23 here. As you can see, the sky has become pretty overcast as we are passing Adrian Sutil here, and Rosberg is currently only 3 seconds down on us, meaning he is definitely lapping faster than we are at this point. Also, our tires are starting to go just a little bit here. We have done about 11 laps on these primes, and it won't be long before we have to go in and change for a set of options for the final stint here. Lap 28, Rosberg has completely closed the gap at this point here and is starting to put us under pressure. And by the looks of his pace right here, I would say that he is most likely running a setup which is similar to the one of Hamilton there, because we are getting outraced on the straights, even though we are only running a 2-and-2 setup. The good news is that Hamilton seems to be about 24 seconds back due to his mishap there with the front wing and having to do a full lap without it. Skipping ahead to lap 31, we are coming in for our second and last pit stop. We are going to be changing to a set of options that we are going to be finishing the race on. Hopefully this will make us a little bit more competitive here, because at the moment Rosberg is out racing us, and the only thing that has kept us into P1 is our ability to park the bus, and we are trying for another undercut here. As you can see, Rosberg is still out on track, so we are going to be going like the devil on this lap, hopefully to get out in front of him once he makes his pit stop. Jumping ahead to lap 33 here, as you can see, there are cars in the pits right now. I am not sure whether or not Rosberg is one of them, but as you can see there is no doubt that they are going to be coming out behind us here, but the position has not changed. So I'm not sure Rosberg was in the pits right there. Well, he was in the pit, as we are into P1 now. So Rosberg was in the pit, and he must be a good 2 or 3 seconds behind us here. Jumping to lap 38, Rosberg again is closing the gap on us. He is about a second down right now and is just outside DRS range. So we are going to be going like a bat out of hell here to try to keep that gap of 1 second. But I have a nasty feeling that our efforts are going to be in vain, and he is going to put us under pressure like Hamilton did before him, and like has been going on all race basically. Jumping ahead to lap 40 here, nothing has really changed except the fact that our mirrors are completely full of Mercedes right now. Rosberg has a look down the outside, but he has to back out of that one. And we live to fight another day here. As long as we can just keep to our racing line here and not give him any openings, we should be good in this twisty-turny part of the circuit. But life on the straights is not an easy one right now. Jumping to lap 42 here, we have just put in our fastest lap of the race here, going like crazy to shake Rosberg, but what does he do? He just puts up a lap even faster than that. As we are lapping Esteban Gutierrez here, Rosberg apparently grazes Gutierrez, and on lap 42 of the Belgian Grand Prix, Rosberg and Gutierrez are out of the race. And with our last immediate threat out of the race here, we take a somewhat comfortable win here on Spa. And I have no clue what happened to Rosberg there. He seemed tucked well into our slipstream and just seemingly grazed Gutierrez out of nowhere, and at over 300 kph, that puts you out of the race, no doubt about that. So Fernando Alonso takes the win here at Spa, about 6 seconds ahead of Hamilton. That's a pretty nice comeback considering all the stuff he went through there, and Ricciardo is in third. And just looking through the DNFs down here, we have Rosberg, Gutierrez, Maldonado, and Sergio Perez, and that's actually a pretty low DNF count, I have to say. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little cockpit cam race here, and if you did enjoy it, I hope you'll leave a like for me and maybe subscribe to this channel for more F1 2014 action, and I'll be back soon enough with more. Bye-bye.